Hillary laughs in everyone's face as she gives nasty reason why she'll never be investigated by Cat Stevens, mpolitical.com. The longer America spends with an ethical president in office, the more we realize that what we had in President Obama and almost had again with Hillary was completely unacceptable. Some have paralleled it to someone getting out of an abusive domestic relationship. A person can get so used to systematic abuse that they forget what it's like to be treated with respect. Experiencing what it's like to know that the executive branch of government isn't being run by a money-hungry puppet is something that Americans had little experience with in recent history. It's something that the left is highly uncomfortable with, especially the president's former opponent, Hillary Clinton. By all accounts, the spot of president was hers to lose, and lose it she did. This has put all her less than legal antics to try and obtain the office in a very precarious spot, considering that the president has no interest in covering for her. This means that every single backroom deal the Clinton campaign made could be brought to light, and every gray area that political ambassadors of Hillary stood in could be investigated. That's not even mentioning things like suspicious murders of those who opposed Hillary or the numerous laws broken by the former First Lady while she served as Secretary of State. All of these illegal dealings coming to light could spell incarceration for the aptly nicknamed Hillary, and she's not happy about it. However, in the interest of keeping a good poker face, she seems to be pretending that there's absolutely nothing to be worried about. Daily Wire reported her interview with Mother Jones took just that tone when asked about the possible investigation into her conduct while in power. In an interview with Mother Jones, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that any investigation into her by the Trump administration represents a politicization of the U.S. justice system and is an unconstitutional abuse of power. Clinton's remarks were a response to a question centered around the recent announcement that Attorney General Jeff Sessions is weighing whether to appoint a special counsel to investigate the Uranium One deal and suspected criminal business dealings connected to the Clinton Foundation. Clinton responded by saying that doing so will be a disastrous step into politicizing the Justice Department. It would be disastrous, all right, just not for anyone other than Hillary and those who support her. Hillary is nothing if not a master of misdirection, and right now she's desperate to direct the investigative powers to look anywhere but into her past. She seems to be employing a time-tested method of scaring potential investigators away from her by pointing out what harm it could be to them. What Hillary doesn't seem to understand is that not everyone has as many closets bursting with skeletons as herself. Even if an investigation did uncovering something that something that someone else did, it would uncover so much more than she did that it would probably be worth it. However, this doesn't stop the incessant name-calling that ensures every time conservatives try to implement justice on a pet liberal cause, if they send a signal that we're going to be like some dictatorship, like some authoritarian regime, when political opponents are going to be unfairly, fraudulently investigated, that rips at the fabric of the contract we have that we can trust our justice system, Clinton continued. Clinton ultimately suggested that an investigation into her past dealings, including allegations which she claims have been debunked, would be illegal because it would represent an unconstitutional abuse of power. Her public speaking is still flawless and her word pictures are still poignant. However, if you just imagine when she's speaking, the Americans that have died because of her negligence and apathy, remember the families that are in mourning because one of their own opposed the Clinton campaign and her confidence starts to seem like arrogance. But she is quite flustered here, you can tell in the picture. News that Sessions is considering appointing a special counsel to investigate Clinton was released in a letter by Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd this week in response to multiple requests by House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte and other committee members to appoint a special counsel to investigate Clinton. The Attorney General has directed senior federal prosecutors to evaluate certain issues raised in your letters, Boyd wrote. These senior prosecutors will report directly to the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General as appropriate and will make recommendations as to whether any matters not currently under investigation should be opened, whether any matters currently under investigation require further resources, or whether any matters merit the appointment of a counsel counsel. Whether Hillary needs to be investigated for Uranium One scandal or not, there are so many almost prosecutable illegal activities that she and her campaign can just almost be investigated for. At this point, someone needs to toehold to start uncovering wrongdoing. Remember, we got Al Capone on tax evasion. Sometimes you've got to settle for whatever gets the criminal off the streets, and if it has to be a lesser charge, so be it. No, she's going down this time. She's going down, and you could see it on her face, like the startled look that she has, you know. And she has a sense of arrogance.
As you know, President Trump has tried to flip the script and now says the Justice Department should be investigating you. Mm-hmm. And this week we learned that Attorney General Sessions is considering a special counsel to probe the Uranium One deal and alleged conflicts with the Clinton Foundation. What's your reaction to this?
You know, I regret deeply that this appears to be the politicization of the Justice Department and our justice system. This Uranium One story has been debunked countless times by members of the press, by independent experts. It is nothing but a false charge that the Trump administration is trying to drum up in order to avoid attention being directed at them. I mean, even Trey Gowdy, somebody who's hardly a fan of mine, said that there doesn't seem to be the basis for a special counsel. And of course, there isn't. But if I try to take myself out of it, which, is kind of hard because it's personally offensive that they would do this, but taking myself out of it, this is such an abuse of power, and it goes right at the rule of law. As Secretary of State, I went around the world bragging about America's rule of law, that we were a nation of laws, not of men, and the justice system was blind, and obviously, we were proud of that, but we had to always be vigilant to make sure that it remained so. And if they send a signal that we're going to be like some dictatorship, some authoritarian regime where political opponents are going to be unfairly, fraudulently investigated, that rips at the fabric of the contract we have, that we can trust our justice system. And with all of our problems, and you know them and I know them, ultimately we have to stand up for that, and we have to believe that, and we have to fix the problems when they occur and when justice is denied. But moving into the political realm is something that we've never seen, and it will be incredibly demoralizing to people who have served in the Justice Department under both Republicans and Democrats, because they know better. But it will also send a terrible signal to our country and the world that somehow we are giving up on the kind of values that we used to live by and that we used to promote worldwide.
So you have a lot of experience with special counsels. Yeah. I mean, how concerned are you about a special counsel investigating you? I mean, is this something that you're preparing for?
I'm not concerned because I know that there's no basis to it.
Really?
I regret if they do it because it will be such a disastrous step into politicizing the justice system. And at the end of the day, nothing will come of it, but it will cause a lot of terrible consequences that we might live with for a really long time.
Really, really, a lot of consequences we're going to be living with for a very long time. The only consequence we lived with is her and the rest of her cronies. She is arrogant, and she's talking about America like that because if she goes down, in other words, America's lost. Are you kidding me? It was lost when she had power. That's when it was lost. But, you know, she can only, move away from things for so long, but things are coming out, and very shortly also. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.